into the Liverpool penalty box, picks out Aston, back to Rashford again, oh, back goes, he's got it! Oh, the flag has gone up on the far side, it must have been Rashford. Oh, and he's given away to Jota. First real chance of the game for him. Chucks it back towards Salah, who makes no mistake at all for Liverpool on 29 minutes. Is he back in again? Mings rises, won't reach Watford, but Tielemans! It's an equaliser! And Youri Tielemans makes them pay. 38 minutes in, we're all back on level terms. Lucadinho waiting, there's men in the box for him. He floats across in Kelly. Oh, and he's headed in, there's Ollie Watkins! What a fine goal that was! Lucadinho with a cross from the left-hand side, and Ollie Watkins guides it into the far post of the Liverpool net. Salah rides it into the penalty box, back for Alexander-Arnold to shoot, deflected it in. It's 2-2. Trent Alexander-Arnold will claim it, took a deflection. Szoboszlai has a suggestion of offside, but the flag stays down for the moment. Here's Nunez, oh, and it's over the top. Dizazi celebrates. Marlon's still going forward, he's still going down your Marlon, oh, it's just gone wide! Oh, millimetres away from the winner. Point will have to do for both managers. What the Premier League is all about, two good sides having a real good go at each other.
Hello and welcome to Villa TV and to Matchday Live. We're back once again at Villa Park for the third time in a week. This time it's Chelsea who come to B6 on the back of a crushing double defeat to Brighton, whilst Villa look to back up a solid performance against league leaders Liverpool on Wednesday night. Now looking to bridge the 4-point gap to Chelsea in the league, it's set to be yet another big one here at Villa Park. My name is Kate Tracey, and alongside me, three former villains, Stiliyan Petrov, Alan McInally, and the last man to lift a major trophy for Aston Villa, Andy Townsend. We finally got you.
Thank you, nice to be here. Really looking forward to today.
Yeah, of course, we had to get you for this game as well, given the, I say double allegiance to a large extent, I guess, really, but it's fantastic to have you holding that mic.
Thank you very much. No, really looking forward to what should be, hopefully, Kate, a really exciting game. Really
exciting game. And Alan, we're back here pretty swiftly as well on the back of that 2-2 draw. We've just been looking back at the highlights there against Liverpool. So that was a fantastic game in itself. Villa raised their game.
I'm going, it's a good point for us. You know, you're playing a team that's, I would think, inevitably going to win the title. So, you know, it was a tough game, and we gifted them that first goal. And they trapped us, and there was nowhere for us to go. We took a chance trying to get out, and we got caught. But got to say, the boys showed great character. We were just saying about the great run that Ollie Watkins makes for the second goal, getting in the box, making sure he's in a position that he's going to score goals. And then of course, we're a little unlucky with it hitting Tyrone off the back of the heel and deflecting in. But nevertheless, this is 3 in the bounce. We were disappointed with the 1-1 against Ipswich because with the majority of the game we played against 10 men and couldn't turn them over. But I still think the 2-2 against Liverpool's not a bad result. But we've got to be looking to win today. Genuinely, we are. They got properly turned over by Brighton, by the way. Here a little bit injured, and it's not a foregone conclusion, but you've got to expect us to create more chances than Chelsea today, especially at Villa Park.
Yeah, we're going to get really into the intricacies of the chances that Chelsea will have really been lacking creating of late, Stiliyan. But in terms of what you're expecting from today, would you see that as a bit of a must-win game, as it were, for Aston Villa?
Well, if you want to get to a European spot, you have to win every single game, especially at home. When you're playing so well, I mean, Villa have been incredible at home. I know that the last couple of results haven't been going away, and it's not been the results that we wanted, but the team has been creating chances. The manager had to deal with a lot of injuries, with a lot of shuffling around the team. I think with Sensio and with Rashford coming into the team, trying to find a little space for them as well. And I'm expecting an exciting game because two teams who are playing attacking football. I'm not sure about the defending for both teams at the moment, but I'm expecting a very good game with goals.
Because I've got Andy here, you're the best man to ask about this, because there was a lot of eyebrows raised when he decided to say, yeah, we would like Marcus Rashford to come here on loan. Were you surprised at that, Andy? I mean, I'm maybe not surprised, but in terms of what we expected, maybe we're going to get more out of Marcus than what Man United have got.
Well, look, I don't think there's any doubt about that. I don't think there's any doubt that Unai Emery is capable of getting more from Marcus than what was happening for him at Old Trafford. I think for Marcus now, accept the responsibility of being a top player, an experienced player in this dressing room, and play with freedom, but play with discipline in your game, work exceptionally hard. If you don't work hard for Unai, then good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck. You're not going to be around here for very long. So there's two sides to the game. Yes, we want to see him taking people on in the box and making things happen. He's also got to make sure he gets himself up and down that side and doing his defensive duties as well. So I think it's a decent addition for Villa. I was just saying actually in the press room, I don't think there are too many teams like Villa in the league that have the options now at the top of the field, Al.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you know what I mean, Stiliyan? Up there, there are very few that can shuffle it around as well as what we can.
You're absolutely right.
And Andy used to be my neighbour, but he left.
Ah.
My neighbour anymore. You went to a better.
I wonder why.
He told me he was fed up bringing your bins in. Said you would always leave your bins outside the front of the house.
I imagine Andy would be the binfluencer of the street if ever there was one.
Yeah.
And you mentioned something very important, and that's about the reaction of the ball. And we seen Marcus Rashford the last game. The team lost the ball, and he just went and he slide tackled.
Yeah.
He wants to show that he wants to play football. He's a good player. There's no doubt about it. I don't think I'm surprised that Marcus Rashford has chosen Aston Villa as the next destination, because when you listen to players, the way they talk about Unai Emery, where the club is going and what they're trying to achieve, you want to be part of that. If something is not working somewhere, and Man United instantly for Marcus Rashford, he comes to another club. And what you have to do, you have to fight for your place. If you want to achieve and you want to win things, you have to fight for it. And you know what? You've got the ability to just fit in that team and just get that consistency that he can play week in and week out.
Oh, by the way, I don't want to say Man United are not a good football team and they're a brilliant, huge football club.
Not at the moment.
Well, the point being that he's coming to a club who are definitely going the right direction. We have a manager that we trust, and he's coming into Ollie Watkins, Morgan Rogers, John McGinn, etc., etc. And then he looks round and we're bringing in Daniel Malin from Dortmund.
Correct.
We bring Asensio in. We bring the boy Andre Garcia, who's played right back, who the gaffer's known about him for the last 2 years. And all of a sudden you're like, right, of course he would maybe think about coming. I mean, I'm sorry we've slipped it into the Marcus Rashford debate, but I want to see him on a foot race with somebody today in the first 10 minutes. Go on then. He might not necessarily win the ball, but just set in the defender's mind, hang on a minute, he might be up for this because he's already wanting to put the ball past me and go beyond me. That's what I want to see from Marcus.
And just finally, Kate, sorry, on Marcus. He now, he's got listen, this place we've all played, it's up there with the very best when you're out here, and it's rocking and it's going well. It's amazing. All Marcus has to do, because we know he's got the talent, all he's got to do is get himself ready to play. Get as fit as you can. Get yourself right in here. That's just all he's got to do, and the rest I'm pretty sure will take care of itself.
But whether he features or not today remains to be seen. We will be bringing you team news in just a moment, but beforehand, now Andy, every time we have a new guest on here, we always have a nice little feature for them. So we've got some out of vision shots then for you.
Okay.
Solid memories. So 1996, lifting the League Cup. Of course, 2 years after you had won the League Cup, but then to captain the side and to be able to lift it then a couple of years later.
Barnet.
With an even bigger defeat as well, 3-0 against Leeds.
We played we played really well that day. I think we always fancied that we would get the job done, and lovely memories. Great group of players. Brian Little was fantastic as the boss, and wonderful day. Always nice when you're at Wembley if you can walk up the steps and do that, and that was lovely. I really loved that.
How was it to lift silverware then? Did it feel like it was not a long time coming as such?
Oh yeah, well it was.
Did it feel like that?
Yeah, it was. It was. It's you know, as I started out playing non-league football and ended up getting into the professional game later than most. So to finally be able to do that was very special. And at this club, you know, it was particularly good. Lovely memories.
Yeah, and amazing then. We talk about it all the time, don't we, lads? In fact, we've been saying how amazing it would be to see Aston Villa, Stiliyan, lift some silverware again this season. And, you know, we're throwing back to those shots there now. Some people, it may not feel that long ago. Others, it might feel a lifetime ago. But if we can bring some silverware back to Villa Park this season, there's still the opportunities there this campaign.
Of course, and that's how you attract big players. I mean, I went to the league final and it was a heartbroken not winning. And you manage to win it, you know how special it becomes to win something, because it's about big teams winning it. That's what everybody talk about that. But having the chance and having the opportunity, you need the players. And that's Unai Emery and Monchi and the club itself. That's what they're trying to do, to bring the silverware. And FA Cup is still there. Still a lot to play for. Champions League, you never know. I do fancy Aston Villa against Club Brugge. Over 2 games. Over 2 games.
I'm already at Real Madrid. I think we're are we
way down the line.
Are we not in the semi-final now?
I'm not going to jinx it by any means.
I'm only joking.
No, but silverware is important. I mean, you have very ambitious owners. You've got ambitious manager. They wanna have silverware in their hands. They wanna do something special for this club. And when you invest so much money, when you bring quality like Asensio and Marcus Rashford, and you already have good players, then people start asking questions, and this is down to the manager and the players to succeed with it.
And I think there's as players, you recognise sometimes in a dressing room, Kate, whereabouts you are. The guys in there now will know that they are ready to win something. They are. They're a team that I think that are capable of it, but they're actually ready to do it. I think they've got experience, great options now. Hopefully they get a few of the injured ones back. Top manager, fantastic place like this. Team is ready now to go and win. Now they've got to make it happen.
I knew we had you on this show for a reason. I'm absolutely buoyed by that. The buzz is really around this place at present, isn't it? Now, the 3 of you have already anticipated the team news then and touched upon it to a large extent. But let's bring you the official team news now, starting with Aston Villa. Of course, in goal, as ever, Emi Martinez. Matty Cash comes back in at right back. Ezri Konsa comes back into the centre of defence. Tyrone Mings alongside him. John McGinn, our captain. Youri Tielemans in his usual double pivot. Ollie Watkins up front. Marco Asensio gets his start. Ian Maatson at left back. Morgan Rogers as always. And Jacob Ramsey back into the fray on the left-hand side as well. You see Marcus Rashford, though, is on the bench, so hopefully we'll get to see him at some point. Now, in terms of Chelsea, they just have the 1 change. Aston Villa with the 4, Chelsea with the 1 change. Jorgensen in goal, Cucurella, Levi Colwell, Pedro Neto, Enzo Fernandez, Nkunku up top, Cole Palmer, Trevor Chalobah, Reece James, their captain, Moises Caicedo, and Malo Gusto. So, of course, they have been hit by plenty of injuries then themselves, Chelsea. But Stiliyan, just to start with Aston Villa there, 4 changes. We are pretty used to changes for Villa at present because of injuries, but great to see players coming back.
Yeah, of course, and this is important, especially for this stage of the season. Big games coming up, there's a lot to play for, 3 competitions, so you'll need your players. But we've seen at Unai Emery, he does make changes, but he don't make more than 4 changes. Obviously, at the moment, with Asensio coming in, I'm surprised, actually, that Marcus Rashford, after his Liverpool...
Stiliyan, if you'd given me 4 goals, I wouldn't have picked up starting 11 today.
Yeah.
I wouldn't, because I thought I would have started Marcus Rashford. I also thought that Garcia's done so well, and yet he's sitting on the bench watching Matty Cash do his job today. So it just shows you the kind of players the Gaffer's brought in.
How good is to have a competition?
Yeah, of course.
I mean, this is the biggest positive for the manager, to have a competition. Players that want to play, players that want to perform well. And when you play, I mean, you guys played in the big teams. When you play in a big team, you have to wait for your place. If somebody's performing, and sometimes when the teams start to get in form, they start performing. Sometimes you can't come in for 10 games, and you have to be ready. And this is what, and you said, Marcus Rashford, he has to be ready.
Yep.
There's no. In Man United before, there's a lot of negative news and a lot of bad performances. But this team is performing well. They're creating chances. They're looking for something special. And Marcus Rashford can do that, but he can only do that when he's out there, not on the bench. And you have to be ready for it.
And the Gaffer's asking questions of players as well, isn't he, Andy?
Yes,
he
is.
He's almost pointing the finger without pointing it, if you know exactly what I mean by that.
Exactly. Again, you've only got to look around the dressing room now to, I think, whoever you are in this team, in this Villa team, you know there's somebody else breathing down your neck. You know there's somebody else waiting for a poor performance, maybe a bad result, and they might get the shout, they might go in. So the incentive is there. Champions League, big finish to the end of the season, FA Cup, the incentive is there to play well and stay in the team. It's great being a part of a successful squad. So much better, so much more fun when you're in that team. Yeah. And that's where you got to get in there.
The competition, but just fantastic to see that we've got some sort of defence back again. We've had 10 different centre-back pairings throughout this season. So again, we talk about competition. Andres Garcia, you're all nodding your head there. I know, of course, the mistake that led to the goal against Liverpool the other night. But on the whole, he has looked very sharp. But it's Matty Cash's shirt, though, Alan. But in terms of Chelsea, they, of course, have suffered their own injuries of late. Nicholas Jackson, he's going to be out for a few more weeks yet, but of course Imadawake as well, though, going to be out today. That's their sole change.
That's a big plus for us, actually, because I thought he played really well here when they turned us over in the league. I can't remember where it was now.
Last year.
Yeah, I think, it was. And he was brilliant, to be fair, the boy. Yeah, they've got their own problems. They've also got a goalkeeping problem that's been dogging them.
They've had about 7 different ones already this season.
The boy Sancho, I think he was
Sanchez.
Struggled a little bit, but nevertheless, they're also trying to look for something as well, and that's why it's, I'm hoping we're going to win the game today, but it's not going to be easy because they're looking for a formula. They're looking as a team right now. The good thing is psychologically, if we turn them over at Villa Park today, you only look at the table and we're a point behind them.
Yeah.
And we might still only be 6th or 7th, but it's certainly concertinas is in, and that's why it's such a big game for us today, that we leave here with the 3 points and make sure even Chelsea are having to look over their back, regardless of who they've got playing for them. I'm not going to mention him because he's a super duper player, but the boy Palmer is unbelievable, and we can't give him 15 yards of anything today because he's that good, and he's a big problem I think for us today, especially if he gets on the ball and starts spraying it all over the place.
You just said it there, Al, it's a big 3 points. It's one of the biggest football cliches that's going. Essentially, it's pretty much a 6-point game, though, given the proximity of these two in the league, Stiliyan here. But JJ, he's getting his 150th Villa start then, which is appearance, which is great to see. Of course, Disasi can't play because this is his pairing club, so we have got our own mix-ups. But I want to ask you, what did you make of the draw against Liverpool there on Wednesday?
What I make? It was entertaining game. There was plenty of chances. Obviously, Villa Unai will never change his style. He always leaves space. That's what Liverpool managed to do. They've managed to use the space. The players, the key players for Liverpool, have played really well. They had a couple more chances. But the important thing is that Villa don't really panic. They don't panic in this situation. They get back to the game. They score a goal. They equalize. They move into it. Again, it's about confidence of the players. You're going to play big teams, you're going to play bad games, you're going to make mistakes, but it's about what you can do. And at the end, the 2-2 result was a good result. I think it was a positive result against probably the strongest team in the league, and you've managed to match them, to create chances and be able to take a point.
It was funny, the following morning, all I read about was Liverpool should have won. As soon as the game finished, I was up there commentating on it. As soon as it finished, I thought, that's about right. It's a point apiece is a fair result. Yes, of course, the Núñez chance he had, and of course he should take, but Villa had lots of unbelievable situations, not maybe direct chances, but lots of great situations. I thought without either team being at their very best, it was a really good watch and a good game, and I thought Villa were right in the thick of it. I really did, always.
And Alan, it was great to see Youri Tielemans getting his 2nd Premier League goal of the season as well. Well taken goal as well. He could have done anything with that chance.
He's having a good season, Youri, really is.
Brilliant.
It took.
Great.
And we've spoken about this before, Kate. That I thought when he came here originally, I thought he struggled a little bit, but I think he's almost a guaranteed starter for the boss now. I think he's that important in the middle of the park, which is a position that you played in.
Yeah.
But even more important, because if he's watching the game and if he's not in the right position there, he doesn't score the goal. If he's standing at the edge of the box trying to protect everything rather than being aggressive and putting the pressure on Liverpool, and it was a super goal, it really was. I think he hit it into the ground, to be fair, which made it even better.
Yes,
But Stiliyan could do the same. Stiliyan could drop deep and play, and he could also get himself up into the box and around the edge of the box and get a goal. And that's what I think nowadays you have to have flexibility as a player in any Premier League team. He's a great example.
The adaptability.
Yeah.
There's a lot we know how the game is now, the modern day game, in terms of you get to 72 minutes and you might have 5 different players that didn't start the game on the pitch. Youri doesn't come off an awful lot. The manager waits and waits and waits and waits till he gets as much out of Youri Tielemans as he possibly can. And I think that's how important he is for the team, regardless of, if I'm in the team right now and I'm looking at Stiliyan on one side and Andy Townsend, I'm thinking, I'm getting chances. I'm getting chances because they'll be shouting at me, get up, get in the box, do this, do that, and that's what I expect from Tielemans. They get it from John McGinn, and Youri's starting to become, I think, a little bit more of a leader in the team, and I think you can see that because the manager trusts him, and he's normally always on the team sheet.
Youri Tielemans, he's got a great football brain.
Yeah.
He's very smart around the pitch. He accommodates himself very, very well with John McGinn, who is more energetic. He goes, he presses and that. Youri is very smart, and his goal was perfect because the ball was kept bouncing. And sometimes, the coaches say, sometimes if you stand still,
Yeah.
the ball will get to you. That's what is it. But when it come to him, it's about the technique, about ability to finish it, and he was composed and he finished it perfectly.
And it was great to see someone else getting a goal as well, because Ollie Watkins, he got his 12th Premier League goal in that game as well there. But of course, he has been getting the vast majority of goals for Villa. So great to see that Youri could join in that as well. But Alan, again, Ollie Watkins on the score sheet. He's now 3 off of Gavi's record.
Yeah, that's going to disappear. I think you said a good. He gets a bit of stick, Ollie Watkins, and it's a shame because he's such a good player for us, genuinely. Now, well, I was sitting behind, a great view. I was just sitting behind. And as soon as he held the ball, this comes from Asensio in the middle of the pitch, and Asensio plays the ball initially into Ollie Watkins. Ollie Watkins takes it. Now, if he passes the ball out to Digne and stays still, he doesn't score. The first thing he had in his mind was get in the box. Get in the box. And he makes a run. The ball's fantastic, and his run is so good that he can guide it into the corner. If he stands at the edge of the box, he doesn't score. The first thing he has to think immediately, get in the box. Get in the box. Apart from being another body for us, he's causing chaos all over the place. They're looking who am I picking up. He runs in between 2 defenders, thanks very much. Really good play by Ollie Watkins. Good centre-forward play as well. But not only that, get it, give it, get in the box. And that's why he's going to score plenty of goals for Aston Villa.
Well, should we hear from Youri Tielemans, who, of course, as we've just been looking at his goal there, managed to put Aston Villa level on Wednesday night. He sat down with the Villa TV team earlier on this week.
Youri, let's start with the 2-2 draw against Liverpool. How do you reflect on an action-packed night at Villa Park?
Yeah, I think it was a really good game. We performed really well, I think. We had some really good moments in the game, scored 2 goals, came back into it. And yeah, unfortunately we conceded in the second half, but I think we had the chances to make a 3rd goal. Unfortunately it didn't come, but I think it was a good point still to have, and the performance, like I said, was very positive.
How much confidence can you take from going toe-to-toe with the league leaders, Liverpool?
Yeah, I think it's positive for us. Like I said, the performance was really good, and the fact that we can take confidence to that into the next games will be very important.
You're the only player in the squad to start every Premier League, Champions League and FA Cup game this season. Is that a proud record for you?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've been lucky enough to not get any bad knocks and bruises to miss a game, but no, I'm feeling really good, feeling in the rhythm, and yeah, hopefully I can carry on.
Do you relish the responsibility you have in this team, in your position, seeing a lot of the ball and dictating the tempo?
Yeah, definitely. That's what I love to do, and I love to dictate the game from where I play, whether it's on the number 10 position or a bit deeper, like against Liverpool. So I really like getting on the ball and trying to make my teammates play, and to try to make them express themselves by giving up good passes, and for them to be able to attack, and yeah, I quite like that.
And you've had 5 new teammates to get to know since the winter transfer window. Have they helped energise the group since coming in?
Yeah, it's been really good. They've settled in really well into the team, and you could tell by the performance against Liverpool. They feel comfortable. They really want to prove, and that's what we needed. We needed fresh legs, some quality players like we have. So yeah, very good.
The draw with Liverpool made it 13 home games unbeaten, but is there a sense that we could have had more wins during that run?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's been a few games where we could have killed the game before conceding a goal or whatever happened. But to be unbeaten at home for those games, it's really good. But like I said, you want to win games, and you want to get more out of some of them.
The games keep coming thick and fast, and Chelsea are another strong opponent to face this weekend. What have you made of them this season?
They've been really good. They have some quality players, and they've had some really good results. And we're at home. We really want to win that game to close the gap with them, and hopefully to get a higher position in the table.
And to be challenging for those European places, how important is it to beat the teams around us and ahead of us in the table?
Yeah, we do, and like I said, that's the games that we want to win and that we need to win to close the gap with them, and hopefully we can do that on that game.
Yeah, great to hear from Youri Tielemans there. And Alan, we were just talking about him, eulogising about him being almost the engine room of Aston Villa at present. But with his football brain, he has just been a stalwart of the team throughout the season.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's just to go over the point I was trying to make. I think the manager trusts him so much that he knows what he's going to get. And I think he knows the other players in the team are happy around about Youri, because he's happy getting it from the goalkeeper, he's happy getting it forward. He's a good passer of the ball. He passes the ball forward better than almost anybody apart from John McGinn. And that's why he's one of the not favourites, that's unfair, but it's certainly one of the reasons why the manager normally looks at the team sheet and goes, okay, goalkeeper, Tielemans, Watkins, let's see what else we can put in there.
And we know he's played a lot of games, Stiliyan, but we just talk about the injury worries there, and we always say that the best ability is availability, and Youri Tielemans, touch wood, is always there.
Yeah, because he hardly sprint. I'm joking. you can only throw a muscle if you sprint. I've been there, I know. I know that. But
is that why you never get injured then?
That's never got injured. But he just picked his position really well on the pitch. He's always sees the game. And it's great to see a midfielder. I mean, you guys played with a midfielder who can receive the ball in a tighter situation. Yep. He don't lose the ball. He sustains the possession.
Takes care of it.
And when you have a player like that, the players trust you. He just becomes a player who you trust. You play the ball, and then he navigates it whatever he wants to. But it's not just that. He makes the difference, like scoring goals, making the big important calls, and that's scoring goals and making difference in the game. That's why he's so valuable for Villa at the moment.
And Andy, who else impressed you midweek?
Well, I'm a huge admirer of what Morgan Rogers does. Do you know, if I was in the dressing room with that young man, I'd be saying, do you realise how good you could be?
So we've got someone who says that to him a lot.
I had him by the lapels one day.
Did you?
Well, I was saying, move the ball quick, try and not get caught in possession, and if you get a chance to go, you go.
Do you know, he possesses everything you need to be an outstanding player in the modern game. Physique, power, and pace over that first 10 yards there's nothing like it in the division. All Morgan has got to do is demand more from himself in and around the box. If he does that, if he adds a few more goals to his game, then I tell you, he could be amongst everything, whatever else Villa have, he could be the most important player in this team.
I tell you what, you are an A-star student in terms of this showing up, because you've teed me up perfectly for our next feature as well. Because Morgan Rogers and Jacob Ramsey, two local lads, also sat down with the Villa TV team earlier on this week.
Neatly moving forward now, Morgan Rogers. Space towards the left-hand side. Ramsey inside the penalty box. Early chance for Villa. Shane. Oh, it's gone in. The goalkeeper missed it. Jacob Ramsey scores on the stroke of a minute.
Obviously, he came through West Brom and Villa, so kind of playing against each other at certain times. And
I remember the type of player he was and stuff, and yeah, like he was always Villa's best player at that age group.
Got his move to Man City, so West Brom going to Man City, like the Birmingham lads are going well, like he's got to be some player.
Everyone knew who he was, kind of thing, so yeah, he's always been that guy, kind of thing.
Before that Middlesbrough game in the FA Cup, we were watching like clips and whatever of the team, and there was like 2 or 3 clips when the manager's gone like that, number 10. Goodman Bray is probably their best player, and some of the clips, and we're watching it thinking, oh well, like a week later, Munchkin asking to sign him, so yeah, even from his Middlesbrough days, he was a top player and he's showing it now.
Just playing consistently together and understanding each other's games and each other's roles and knowing what we're good at, and yeah, just trying to improve each other and be better with each other, and be also demanding of each other, because we are.
Honest, we've got a good friendship, and if I'm having a bad game or whatever, or I've made a bad pass, I'm sure look for him, he'll tell me, and vice versa, but that's just a good connection that we've got.
Obviously we're closer than we maybe are with other players, so we can say probably harsher things and what we want to do and to look for each other, and that's what it's about.
I think for the past couple of weeks it's been coming off, so yeah, just really happy to play together.
We try and bring the best out of each other, and especially in the last few weeks, it's definitely working, and we're doing well.
Jacob not done enough to make the grid yet, though.
Nah, he's on. No,
not like I posted. yeah.
Hearts in my row on it.
It's not a romantic love story, is it though?
It's been Valentine's.
The last 2 posts, I think, the Spurs and the Celtic game, and obviously he set me up for. No, I set him up for the Celtic game, the first goal, and then obviously he set me up for the Spurs game. So yeah, At the moment, we're linking up quite well, and it's just good to be around.
One more assist and he makes it good, right?
One more cutback and we can talk. Yeah.
Yeah, great to hear from Morgan and JJ there and their friendship. And one more assist, and then JJ might just make Morgan's grid on Instagram. But Andy, how important is it when you've got friendships within a team? How easy is that then to translate to the pitch?
Oh yeah, look, it certainly helps. I mean, not everybody always sees absolutely eye to eye in a dressing room. Different characters, different way that some players handle themselves off the field, very different to others. It's always nice when you've got two guys like Jacob and Morgan who seemingly have a great relationship, get on well, enjoy each other's company, and then enjoy linking up with each other. And again, Jacob's another one of those players that he's had some tough times injury-wise this season, but looks like he's now getting back up to speed and back to his best. And again, when he's moving with the ball, when he's running with the ball, another exceptional talent. So those two could dovetail beautifully for Villa.
Yeah, and Stiliyan, as Andy was just saying there, the fact that they complement each other so well on the pitch as well. We saw the tee up then for JJ's goal from Morgan against Celtic, but they've been teeing each other up the whole way through this season.
Yeah, it does help. I mean, I've been a captain of the team, and you know, most of the problems that you deal with players is not on the pitch. Players know what to do. It's not what is demanded. It's outside the club piece. And having somebody who is a similar age, the friendship, that does help.
Yeah.
That does give you the support. If one goes through a difficult time, to a tough period, they help each other. And having somebody you can rely on makes you even more stronger. And when they play well, the way they play makes it even more valuable for Aston Villa.
Yeah.
And it feels even more special, the fact that they're local lads as well, Alan, and they're so down to earth. You know, we've had the pleasure of getting to speak to them in and around the training ground, and they are just good lads.
Good lads, both of them. I mean, there's a lovely spice for everybody that's here today because they're local boys. Everybody loves the local lads. Just when the boys are talking, I didn't like anybody. I didn't like anybody in the dressing room. I didn't like the opposition.
I think that's still the case.
I didn't like the manager.
Yeah.
I didn't
like his team lineup on Villa TV.
I didn't like the kit man.
The feeling was mutual, by the way.
Oh, brilliant. But it is because the boys are obviously local and everybody likes to see that, you know, because the global football game now is about, you know, Germany and South America players coming in and everything else that we have to deal with, and opportunities for players to come from all over the world to play in the Premier League. When you've got boys that were just, you know, bought down the road, you know, like I played with Mark Walters and Gary Townson and Tony Daly and stuff.
Yeah.
Just superheroes here and local lads, and it's no different for the boys, and a little spice for them as well, that they know the situation. They grew up watching Aston Villa, and now they're having an opportunity to make themselves into superheroes for a club that they obviously love.
Have you told them how good you were?
No. I think they already know.
Really well said though, lads. Like I say, still to have that local element then to the team as well is all important. But of course, we had yesterday the eagerly anticipated Champions League last 16 draw. Stiliyan, Club Brugge, what did you make of it?
I've said earlier, I really fancy Aston Villa to go through. Over 2 games, definitely Villa Park, the way Villa is playing. I think with Rashford, Asensio, the manager has added extra quality into the team. We're definitely stronger than the previous round, and I think Villa going through.
Okay, there you go. We love the confidence as well. Andy, what did you make of it?
Yeah, good draw. What I would say is we now get to the stage of the Champions League where a momentary lapse in concentration, as happened against Liverpool the other night in the first half, one of those can be extremely costly. So now the concentration levels, now the expectation has to go up a notch or two. I think Villa have been brilliant throughout the campaign in the Champions League. I've seen them all. I've been here for the Juve, for Bayern, for Bologna, for Celtic, and I think they've done great. But now once you get to the knockout stages of the Champions League, you have to get all aspects of your game right. And I think if they do that, like Stiliyan, I think they win.
Andy, do you think this is one of the reasons that Unai Emery has brought Asensio, who won 4 Champions League?
Correct.
Marcus Rashford, who've got a great experience in European football. You think this is something that you guys go and calm the nerves, the emotions, and make sure we can go for it? Because Villa, the way they're performing, the players they've got at the moment, They can take anyone.
And also in those Champions League, as we've seen Real Madrid do, every year we see Real Madrid get boxed into a bit of a corner, all of a sudden, bang, 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 3 goals in 10 minutes. Or someone comes off the bench, bang, bang, scores a couple in 5. Now all of a sudden Villa have those capabilities, they have those options. Pray to God that all the boys stay fit and stay well. The competitive nature is in the dressing room and is there to play every time. Unai now has fantastic options in that respect. And you need attacking intent and options in those Champions League matches, because you might be behind and you need to shake it up. You need to get someone else on who's got a goal in him. Villa have got plenty.
I was in Bruges, and it was the one where Tyrone's touched the ball with his hand and gave it.
That's why it feels a bit of retribution to have drawn them.
Well, at the same time, it's still a tough draw. They scored 3 goals against Atalanta the other night.
Yes, yeah, they were
away from
tough
home.
Team, yeah.
So they might actually be better now than the situation they were in when we played them and got beat 1-0 over there. There was nothing between both teams that night. Ollie's probably disappointed he didn't score it just before half-time. But I think over the 2 legs, I don't think there's any question. I think we're a better football club, a better team.
Yeah.
But I do think what Andy said is spot on, for the simple reason it's a different Aston Villa they're playing as well. They might be in better form, and they might think, having already beaten us over there, they might do the same thing. I think they'll see a different Aston Villa for the away game, regardless of the game here.
Well, should we see what the boss made of it then? Unai Emery sat down with the media in his usual pre-match press conference yesterday afternoon.
Hello, Unai. The draw's been made for the last 16 of the Champions League. We now know that Villa will play Club Brugge, and there is the prospect of an all-English Premier League game further down the line. What's your reaction?
Good afternoon. Happy we're in the last 16 and happy with the draw. But everything they are in the last 16, they deserve to be there. And of course, we played against Bruges, and we knew their capacity to compete like they are doing usually. They beat Atalanta as well, and losing there 1-0, of course, is good information for us. How we have to compete, to respect, to prepare, to try to avoid the mistake we made. But really happy because we are going to enjoy this moment with our supporters, and we are going to compete when it's arriving. But now we have to focus Chelsea. When we will get the rival, we will cross the bridge. The first match we played this season against Chelsea was different moment. And now, hopefully, we can feel stronger. And last year against Chelsea at home, in FA Cup, we were out. In Premier League match, we play more or less in February, March, more or less. We compete very well when we draw, and they were always demanding us a lot, always. This year, when we played in London, we lost, and we deserved to lose. And we didn't perform, we didn't compete like I think we have to get to the level we achieved last year, and this year, more or less, we are achieving something, but not consistency. And tomorrow is the test. And tomorrow, I am motivated preparing the match. I am motivated preparing as well our team, analyzing the match we played on Wednesday. We analyzed before the matches we played, with the players we have now, with the new players as well. And of course, the most important, how they are responding, being as well motivated to try to help us.
Yeah, great to hear from Unai Emery, as always. And Andy, I thought it was really interesting. We know that Unai, he likes to take the blame upon himself at the best of times, but it was almost in relation to Garcia's mistake there the other day, where he said, I like the team to play this way, to play out from the back. So if there is a mistake, it's on me for asking them.
Yep. There are certain conditions when you're playing that Unai Emery can't always control. At the top of the field, you have to let players be individual and be spontaneous and do what they naturally do well. The one thing that isn't a variable, the one thing that is not up for debate, is the way that they initiate and the way that they play, the way they draw teams on by playing out from the back. They're going to do that time and time again. Every now and again, like the other night, it's going to hurt you, it's going to cost you. But that's as the manager says, he takes responsibility responsibility for that, and they've just got to keep doing it.
And Stiliyan, he also made reference to how busy the fixture congestion is at present. And of course, 3 games in a week then at Villa Park for Villa. It's a tough ask.
It's a tough ask, but that's what big teams do.
Yeah.
They have to play games.
You want this privilege?
Of course, and to get that privilege, you have to win games, and that's what Aston Villa has been doing. And you know what, to have that kind of schedule, it is a privilege, but also you have to be able to understand how important is that, because certain players, I love playing games. I love playing games, big games, and I believe that's what Aston Villa players want to do now, playing big games. And Andy, you touched about the style of play. Of course, there'll be risks, but if you want to compete against the best, you have to have a clear style of play. Yeah, of course, you're going to make mistakes. But if you want to compete with them, you have to have a clarity of what exactly you want. And you take the blame, and that's why he's the big manager. That's why he had so much success.
Okay, Alan, back to today's game, though. What are you anticipating seeing today from either side?
Well, I'm certainly hoping we create more chances than they do. I'm not nervous about today. I'm just a little anxious just because of last Saturday. Not the game against Liverpool, but it seems as though we managed to really raise our game. This is a tough game for us today. Yeah. And it's also tough for us for the simple reason that they're not at their best either, and they're getting stick from all over the place. So they might be a yard sharper today. I just hope we keep the ball in the middle of the park better and we create chances. I'm expecting us to score a couple of goals. One in the first half, one in the second half, and I want us to be really aggressive. But then again, I was in one of the lounges and I was saying, what time the score will be? And if they said we would concede a goal, because we're not good at keeping clean sheets here. I can't remember the last time we won a game 1-0, which I would bite your hand off for.
Away?
Well, there you go. It was actually well done.
Was it?
That's not like you, I know, really. See, I teed her up for that as well. But you know what I mean? But especially here at Villa Park, and that's what I'm just hoping maybe today. Yeah. As long as the goalie doesn't get beat, then okay. I think we'll create more chances than they do, and with a bit of luck, we'll win a game.
Danger men in terms of Chelsea, Andy. Who are you expecting? We've talked about how different, their lineups have had to be, and they've had to mix it around themselves. Yeah. Is it just Cole Palmer, or who do you think?
He's the main threat. He's the biggest threat because he has that ability to produce something out of nothing. He's just of late, he's drifted in and out of games a little bit more than he was at the start of the season. He was so there every game for Chelsea early on in the season. Just lately, he's been drifting a little bit more. Nkunku, a chance for him today, maybe up the middle. He's not started as anything like the amount of games I thought he would. So a chance for him. But I think really Cole Palmer is the one that, again, like I mentioned about Morgan, what he gives Villa, Cole Palmer does the same thing for Chelsea. He can take them from perhaps an average performance, he can turn that into a victory by something a little bit special.
Right, lads, prediction time. Score prediction from you, Stiliyan.
I'll go 2-1 Villa.
2-1 Villa, nice. Goal scorers, are we going to give us any?
Ollie Watkins and Rashford, first goal for the club.
Come on then.
Yes.
Wow. Nice.
I'll go for 2-1. I won't go for any 4-0 again.
That was confident.
Let's
to
be more
fair.
professional.
Alan.
Against Ipswich, you went 17-0.
Did he? Yeah. Which was always going to be tough.
It was going to be tough.
It was. Alan, your prediction?
Well, I've already said one in the first half, one in the second half. I'll go 2-1, but I hope I'm wrong. In other words, I hope it's 2-0, if you know what I mean, that we can keep a clean sheet, which I would be absolutely delighted with. I think that would take us into the midweek and especially to the Cup next week. If we don't concede a goal against Chelsea, I think that's a big plus for us because they'll look to score against us because they did before. I'll go 2-1.
But those 3 points, all important. Then, Andy, last word to you.
Last word, I think very close game. I think it's going to be tight. And I think Villa are going to have to work really hard to do it. But I believe they can. I think the other night, the Liverpool game will have given them just a little bit more belief and confidence. I think they win today.
Okay, thank you so much for the three. Andy, so great to have you on. We know you're very busy, but we appreciate your time.
No problem.
Nonetheless, you two, as always, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to head over to Villa TV for live commentary of today's game and your commentary team, as always, Mark Regan alongside Ian Taylor.
Mm-hmm.